guys, hope you're doing very well. In today's video, I am going to do another tattoo etiquette video.
The opening topic today is our tattoos on women red flags.
Here I am again. This video is somewhat of a podcast type video. It's over an hour long. I think it's like an hour and a half long, something like that, like ridiculously long, and it is mainly just bashing women with tattoos. There's no other way to say it, honestly. Like, that is what it is. I have been sent this multiple times on all different platforms. It's been posted in my Facebook group a few times and stuff like that. A few of you guys have actually sat through the whole thing and watched it, and some of you guys have just like said that you skipped through it and couldn't handle the whole thing. But yeah, this is from a YouTube channel called Entrepreneurs in Cars. The content that they normally make it's questionable. You know, I've done, oh my god, how many videos like this where men, middle-aged men, have an opinion on what women do with their bodies. I think this is like the 4th or 5th video I've done like this. Honestly, I can't believe this content is still on YouTube. But yeah, like I was saying, this podcast was quite long, and even myself, I could not sit through the whole thing. So basically what I did is I kind of skipped through bits and, you know, picked bits here and there that I wanted to talk about, discuss, or show you guys that, you know, I talk about people hating on tattoos, and it's definitely a minority nowadays. But I make these videos to show that there are still people out there that judge people because they have some ink on their skin. Let's just remember that. I know you guys know this, but in case anyone's watching this and is like, I don't know how tattoos work, or I don't know what a tattoo is about for whatever reason, that's what it is. It's ink on someone's skin. Someone doesn't just change as soon as they get a tattoo. You know, like, you'll get a tattoo on your wrist or your thigh or your back or wherever. You don't change as soon as you come out of the tattoo studio. Like, it's just ink on your skin. You don't go in a tattoo studio a pure virgin and then leave a whore, as these men like to call us. It don't work like that. What you were before the tattoo, you still are after the tattoo. Oh, I'm getting mad already. So I think we should just get on into this. I just want to make sure you guys are aware that this is enraging. Proceed with caution, honestly. And if you feel mad, please vent down in the comments down below. Let all your frustrations out. Don't leave this video feeling mad. I don't want you guys to feel a certain type of way once you click out of this video, you know. I'll leave some videos down below of like puppies, you know. You might have to watch that after this video, that's all I'm saying.
We do this show to help guys avoid wrecking their lives with bad decisions, particularly with women.
So they do a show about finding a good woman, and they give relationship advice, yet...
I think it was around the time that I was getting divorced, and...
This guy has been divorced. Wow, yeah, your life advice is going great for you. Yeah, I would totally take life advice from you. Like, they want to come for tattooed women and tell us that we're sluts and we can't commit, yet you've been divorced. People with tattoos have zero commitment issues. Let's be serious, because we commit to something for the rest of our life with a tattoo. But yeah, we're the problem here. Okay. Yep.
I don't really like tattoos on women. I don't think less of women who have tattoos. I just find them very unattractive. I think they can only do one of two things. They can make a good situation bad or a bad situation worse. And so that's my opinion. And what I was doing is what so many people do with their opinions, which is they start taking them very seriously. So you have your personal opinion, your prejudice, and then you go out and you look at the world and you start collecting data that supports your opinion, and you start ignoring data and factoring out data that contradicts your opinion. This is what I was doing around the topic of tattoos. And so that's why I wanted to revisit this, because I saw myself committing this sin, and I have this malfunctioning brain around this topic, and I wanted to get my brain functioning correctly around this question and go out and look, okay, at the data and see, what does the data actually say about tattoos.
See, I like this guy's honesty, and honestly, this guy isn't much of a problem throughout the whole podcast. You'll notice that with the clips that I have selected for this video. There's not many clips of him at all, because he seems like a nice, you know, chill guy, and he's quite honest, and I respect his honesty and I respect his opinions. But yeah, he's pretty much saying that he sees the bad in tattooed women because he doesn't like tattoos on women, so he's always pointing faults with women that have tattoos. I've said this many times, but I'll say it again. I know people don't like tattoos, and I would never ever expect people to like tattoos. Never. If you don't like tattoos, that's fine. It's just when you spew out bullshit that doesn't make sense, that there's no you know, statistics behind it or anything like that. And you know, we all have our personal preferences, you know, when it comes to finding a partner. You know, you guys might like people with dark hair or blonde hair or blue eyes, or they dress a certain way, or they like music or whatever it is you're into. That's fine. It's the same with tattoos. Not everyone is gonna like them, and that's okay in my opinion. I'm not here to preach and change everyone's mind about liking tattoos. It's just the way you go about not liking tattoos. If you just say, I'm not personally a fan of tattoos, that's fine. That's so fine. But if you make hour-and-a-half long podcasts assuming that all tattooed people are the same and that we're all a certain type of way, that's where the problem is, because you're spreading misinformation about tattooed people when we're just living our everyday life, you know?
The craziest chicks were the ones with multiple tattoos, tramp stamps.
Showing your age a little bit there, Grandad. So in this clip, this guy is talking about his friend.
You know, he had a date over and he took a picture of his date, who was a single mom with a thumb rim and smoking a cigarette, with tattoos all the way up and down her body, right? And I won't tell you what the next picture was that he sent me about 20 minutes later, but, you know, it confirmed the assertion that women with tattoos tend to bring some baggage or problems around. I think the theory, generally speaking, is most guys look at it like it's mutilation, it's bodily mutilation. And it's like putting a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. Like, why would you go and do something like that to something that is beautiful? Because, you know, men look at women as beauty objects.
So he's just implying that this woman was a certain type of way, if you know what I'm saying. It's okay for his friend to be like that because it does take two to tango with, you know, sexual relations or people coming together in that nature. So his friend was doing it as well, but because she's a woman with a tattoo, oh no, oh no, oh no, she's a certain type of way because she has a tattoo and she was a little bit promiscuous, and that's not okay for a tattooed woman to do that. A man, oh yeah mate, go at it, have some fun. But a woman, you know, adds on to it and becomes the two to tango, that's a problem. Wow, I am shook. This is just, I didn't know that. I better freaking behave myself with my boyfriend because that makes me questionable, and oh my god. Oh, I just can't with these types of people. I can't. And he also said that tattoos are like mutilations. Does he know how tattoos work? Like, don't speak on something if you don't know how it works. That's my rule of thumb. I won't make content that I don't know what I'm talking about on, you know? Like, imagine if I sat here and talked about, I don't know, power tools or whatever I'm really not interested in. That would be like the most shittiest video because I wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just sit here and be like, they're mutilations and it's like really fucking severe. There is, you know, places in the world where mutilations happen under someone's unfree will, and it's like really, that's really serious. You can't, it's like apples and oranges. You cannot compare the two. Shut the fuck up. And then he said men look at women like beauty objects. Like, he said it right there. And he and many other people objectify women as if we were literally put on this planet to amuse their tiny dicks. That's why we're here, by the way, ladies. In case you didn't know, I'm gonna give you a lesson right now. We're on this planet for men. Shock, horror, I know. Wow, we're on this planet for men's entertainment. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fun fact, we're not here for you men. Sorry. Like, we don't do certain things for your entertainment. Stop objectifying us. We're not objects, we're living, breathing things, okay? Like, hello, we have feelings too.
And me personally, I'm not a big fan of women that are covered in tats.
You know what? It's okay, hun. We're not a fan of you. Honestly, I don't think we would touch you with a barge pole. You've made yourself known as a woman-hating person that objectifies us, so yeah, we're not gonna come near you. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Don't worry about it, honestly. We're good. You're fine.
But there's some questionable behavior that, you know, leads me to wonder if women with a lot of body art bring some baggage or problems to the table.
So I have a lot of body art, but I have no baggage. So I'm 29, I have my own house, I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years, I have a rabbit, that could be classed as baggage, and many others are like me as well. You know, we don't have this, whatever this baggage may be. Like, this generalization just doesn't work because you may think you know tattooed women, But you don't, because like here I am, you know, a tattooed woman. Oh look, body art. Shun the lady with body art. She must be such a slut. She must be such a floozy. Like that even matters. But yeah, this generalization just doesn't work because this guy has no tattoos. He has kids and he's been divorced. He's got more baggage than me. So work that one out, honey. Like work that out, yeah?
71% of men find tattoos on women sometimes attractive. I don't really know what sometimes mean here, but then 58% of men sometimes find tattoos attractive on women. That's a very high percentage.
That is very high. And that's in what age range?
Millennials. So what ages are millennials?
Oh my god, I could literally just end this video right here and just say, you know what, it's a generation thing. If they even know what generations are, and millennials, they don't know. But I could just literally end this video here and just be like, you know what, they're too old. They just don't get it. They just don't understand. And you know, that would be the end of that. But that wouldn't be that fun because you guys, I had to torture myself watching this, so I'm gonna make you watch this too. Yeah, it's very much a generation thing. I do know I have actually got some viewers from this kind of generation that do get tattoos and they watch my videos, and you guys rock. I am not talking about you in any way, shape or form. But yeah, these men didn't grow up with people getting tattooed so frequently because, you know, nowadays there's like 1 in 4 people that have a tattoo. But yeah, back in their day, the only people that would get tattoos were bikers and tattoo artists and people in like the military and stuff like that. Like it really wasn't that popular. But now everyone kind of has a tattoo and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's more normal for us to see, but for them it's not so much. You know, they probably just see us youth, us millennials, and think, what the fuck are you doing? And I guess because these guys are so close-minded, they're not, you know, up to opening their brain just a smidge, just to see, you know, what it's about, why people get tattoos and the history behind tattoos. Like, no, that's just far too much effort for them. They'd rather make an 1.5-hour long podcast shitting on women with tattoos than understand it and understand the people behind it. That, yeah, whatever, that's on you, mate. So the guy in blue talks about a study that was done, and I think it asked like why women get tattoos, and the consensus was that women get tattoos for more of a personal reason.
So if they're personal and private, why are they on their neck and other visible body parts?
His cocky smirk makes me so fucking mad. He thinks he's the bee's knees for coming up with something like that. He's all like, yeah, so I know what I'm talking about. But fun fact for you guys, just because someone puts a personal tattoo in a somewhat visible place or a visible place, like if someone puts a personal tattoo on their face or whatever, for whatever reason, it's up to them, their body, don't care. It doesn't mean it's any less personal, you know? Like shock horror, I know, revolutionary, that, you know, people can't think like that. Like I'm having to explain this. I know, I'm having to explain that you can have personal stuff on show. Like, wow, 2019, I'm having to put that out there.
What are they trying to say? Look at this part of my body over here.
I think that
this guy is such a creep. Like, have some control over your caveman brain for just like a hot second and stop objectifying women. I will stress this. We do not put tattoos on our body for men to look at that body placement.
my wife likes horses, but she doesn't have pictures of horses etched onto her body. So it still doesn't answer the question, why do you want the world to know about this?
I have a theory. I think it's because they just want the attention. They want to draw eyes to it. Parts of your body in places that draw eyes to sexual sort of components of the female anatomy or close to it, lower back, bikini line, pretty much any part of the female anatomy, if it's attractive, is going to draw your attention to sexual thoughts.
I have not spent thousands of pounds on tattoos and sat for, oh God knows how many hours, over 100 hours. It could be 200, 300, I don't even know. But yeah, I haven't sat in a tattoo studio for all that time in pain for men to stare at me. Like, I'm not a zoo animal, for Christ's sake. I do this for me and me only. I have had tattoos when I've been in a relationship. I've had tattoos when I have been single. They are not for no man. Not one man on this planet. Zero. Like, do you seriously think that I sat for 14 hours to get this done for my boyfriend. Like, do you seriously think I'd sat for that long to get a deer skull on my lower back for my boyfriend? Do you think he'd come up to me and was like, oh, Lauren, I really think you should get a deer skull on your lower back. It'll make you so fucking sexy. Get the fuck out of here. I did that because that's what I wanted there. It wasn't to make my boyfriend Randy and want to fuck me 24/7. I got it for me. He had no say in it. He didn't tell me what he does and does not like, because guess what? It's my body. I can do what I want with it. It's not to woo him. It's not to make him happy in the penis region. I did it for me because that's what I wanted. Like, no woman on this planet would go through hours of pain and spend, you know, hundreds of, nearly thousands of pounds on a lower back tattoo for a man. Nuh-uh, not worth it. Just get out of here, man. They're talking shit. So after saying those disgusting, objectifying comments, he says that he has a daughter.
You got a daughter, right? So my daughter figured out that if...
Could you imagine this guy being your dad? A guy that makes over an hour-long video discussing what women do to their bodies and objectifying them, and, you know, saying that women are here for men's pleasure and stuff like that. Like, does he not see what's wrong with this at all? Any sane dad would go absolute apeshit if a guy was to talk to their daughter like this. Could you imagine if that was my child's dad? Oh, I mean, I would lose my shit. I would be like, you do not talk to any woman, no matter how old they are, like that. You don't tell a woman or even say into the universe that women are objects for men's pleasure.
Now she's starting to like draw things on her body, and I have to explain to her, well, those are trashy. Men don't like women that put those things on their body, and you have to understand it's permanent.
I'm speechless. Like, you're teaching your daughter that she's on this planet for men. What year is this? Am I still in 2019, or have I kind of gone back a few hundred years? Can someone let me know what year this is? Hang on, let me just look at my calendar real quick. Yeah, it's 2019. Yeah, and he's telling his daughter that.
I think that her motive is more of like the expression of the art.
That's all of our motives? Jesus Christ, this guy is dense. Is there anything else in his brain apart from naked women? Like, oh my God. So in this part of the podcast, they started reading comments from the live chat, because I think they did a live stream of this podcast and then they left it up online or whatever, but they started reading comments, and most of the comments that they did read I've already kind of touched upon, but there's this.
Getting tattoos worth hundreds of dollars, spending issues. Absolutely.
Tattooed people have spending issues. Again, speaking on something that you know nothing of. We save up for months for our tattoos. Tattoos are not cheap for the most part. You know, depending on what it is you're getting tattooed, who the artist is, how long the session is it a day session? They're quite expensive. Is it a half a day session? Still pretty expensive. You know, I got a day session booked at the end of May, £500. I'm saving up £500. Tattooed people do not fuck about with money, let me tell you. Tattooed people are probably the smartest when it comes to money, because we have to save, we have to prioritize. Most of us prioritize, like myself, I prioritize bills, food, and then any other kind of expenditures that I have, you know, that month, say travel or holidays or whatever. That all comes first, and then, you know, I put some money aside for tattoos. And I know for a fact, I spoke to a lot of my viewers, they're the exact same. They'll put everything before tattoos, everything, and then they'll save for the tattoo. And, you know, we have to book months in advance for that. Spending issues, yeah, right then, mate. Oh, I love when people just assume stuff about people, just, yeah, go off, don't actually know, but, you know, because you haven't taken the time to talk to people that take tattoos seriously, because I guess we are shunned and we are the worst people in the world. Oh my God, yeah, don't come near us, we're diseased.
Randall is harsh. He said tattoos are a sign of low IQ and low class trash. And actually that doesn't fit with the research that I found when they were looking at, one study was looking at millennial students that had tattoos and comparing them that didn't, and there was no difference in GPA.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The crap that these people come out with. I've made 2 videos recently about my female subscribers. I will leave a link down below in case you need to witness it. But these videos contain stories about my female subscribers and what they've achieved in life and what their career goals are, and you know, their education and what they do for work and stuff like that. And in those videos I had women training to be lawyers, people who had gone to college, people that had masters or aiming to get their masters, and people that had their own businesses. You know, there was many more in that, but tattoos do not affect a person's brain. Einstein could have got a freaking tattoo. Does that make him less smart? I don't fucking think so. Like, you know, Einstein walks into a tattoo studio being, you know, who he is, walks out of the tattoo studio. Would that make him dumber? I don't think so. Like, where is the logic in this? It frustrates the hell out of me. And there's so many people with this opinion as well. I just don't understand why people think people with tattoos have a low IQ. Where did that statistic come from? I did a video on a woman who's training to be a surgeon. She is covered head to toe in tattoos. I'm sorry, but you have to be really smart to become a surgeon. No? Get out of here. Unless you have actual proof, scientific proof that tattoos make you a little dumb, then shut up, all right? And even then, that statistic wouldn't be true because I have literal proof of people that are very much smart that are covered in tattoos. So if anything, the people saying this are the dumb ones. Just put it out there.
I wouldn't date a chick that's mutilated her body. It's like, I wouldn't want to have a friend that bought a Ferrari and fucked up the car and put like weird shit on.
Why is this person comparing people to cars? And why do middle-aged men do this all the time? Cars are objects, right? They're not living things, they're just mechanical parts. People are living, breathing things. Again, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Just nope, no connection there, nothing. Why? I thought us tattooed people were meant to be the dumb ones here. But yeah, your argument is very, very invalid, but nice try, nice try. That's nice of you to try, but no. You know, the bright hair, you know, the short bright hair, you know, obvious tattoos. I could go on and on. I mean, you can pretty much spot most feminists from like a mile away now. Okay, so I've never really identified myself as a feminist, just not for any particular reason. I just want equal rights across the board. That's, you know, my motive in life, so to say. And I don't see anything wrong with feminists at all. I don't doubt for a second if this video gets traction or whatever, or the viewers of that original podcast come over to this video, I don't doubt for a second, like, I see you guys, I see you, the people that have come from their channel. I bet my left bloody kidney I will have 1 to 100 comments saying you're a fat feminist bitch, because I've had those comments before. That is exactly what they go for straight away. They'll go, you're a fat feminist bitch, and I'm just like, wow, creative. Even though I've never once mentioned the word feminist or feminism in this video. And you know what, if you want to call me that, that is absolutely fine. Just know when I get that comment, I'm laughing at you, because you are literally the most uncreative thing of all time. But you know, if you want to be a keyboard warrior because your ego has been shrunk a little bit in this video, because you know I'm talking sense, that's fine. You know, lash out at me, go for it. I've met women that have put tattoos down the side of their body, like down here, to cover up stretch marks from childbirth. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't look good. Yeah, I bet he would be the guy that wouldn't go near any woman with stretch marks because they're imperfections.
Just an idea I thought I'd float is that tattoos are external evidence of internal damage. Mm-hmm. And the more damaged, the more traumatized somebody is, then the more likely they are to have psychological issues. So in the same way that correlation doesn't equal causation, you know, it's not a definite predictor that somebody with a lot of tattoos is going to have a lot of psychological issues, but it's a pretty good sign. So what do you think of that?
Well, I already agree. You know, I think tattoos are definitely a red flag when they're in high volumes and visible. Yeah. Things like sleeves, neck tattoos, you know, behind the ear, behind the neck, you know, feet, stuff like that. So this kind of thing is discussed in the comments on this video, and I was going to read the comments from this video, but honestly, this is enough on its own. There's just, maybe I'll do a separate video on reading the comments from that video. I don't know, let me know if you guys want me to do something like that, but
some of it is just so hateful, so misinformed, and it's just not needed. And this kind of thing just shouldn't be on YouTube when people are just being really, really mean and negative. And they've got no proof. But there's a lot of people out there that think tattooed women are damaged goods, or, you know, mentally insane or mentally ill. And first of all, what is wrong with someone being mentally ill? Does anyone want to answer me that? Because, you know, I don't think there is anything wrong with someone being mentally ill. It's a disease, it's a chemical imbalance. That person, for the most part, can't help it. Obviously, there are other factors with becoming mentally ill. It could be like an environment thing, it could be a trauma thing, it could be a number of things. Talking about mental illnesses in a negative light like this, to say it's a bad thing and, ooh, that girl has mental illnesses and she's damaged goods and she's really, really crazy and psycho and whatever, because she has a tattoo, that is really, really damaging, and it's negative, and it can make people feel so bad. Because I think 1 in 4 people suffer with mental illnesses now, if I'm correct. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very much a normal thing nowadays. You know, like, the stigma behind mental illnesses, thankfully, are being lifted. Not, I mean, it needs to come a long way, but it has come a long way in the same sense, you know. Like, could more be done? Yes. But has stuff been done to, you know, release the stigma? Yeah, I'd say so. Much more people talk about it. There's people on YouTube constantly talking about it, which is such a good thing. But to say it in such a negative way is so, so harmful. And coming from men who has like a male dominated audience, and suicide is the biggest killer of young men, they've got to be so careful with what they're saying like this, you know, like that could really affect someone to be so negative about mental illnesses and people being mentally unstable and stuff like that. Like that, do better. Out of everything in this video, if these guys watch it, I don't know if they will, but if they could take one thing away from this video, my video, it would be to be careful with what you're saying. The tattoo thing, yes, it's frustrating, but the mental illness thing and being so negative about it, there's no need. And I shouldn't give them like a benefit of a doubt, but I know it is a generation thing, because, you know, when they were younger, like my age or whatever, you know, mental illness was like shunned, and it wasn't something people spoke about that often, if at all. So I know it's a generation thing, but if you're going to be on YouTube, which is a platform dominated by millennials and younger people, you've got to come up with the times. I mean, I'm surprised there is no comments on this video saying, wait, hang on a second, you can't really talk about mental illnesses like that anymore. It's just not helpful. It ain't helpful. I don't know whether you agree with me or not, it is not helpful to talk about it like it's a bad thing, to say, well, people with tattoos are like mentally damaged, so yeah, because you're saying it like it's a bad thing. You know, there's so many walks of life that have tattoos. Yes, there will be people with mental illness with tattoos, but guess what? There are people without tattoos that have mental illnesses also. It's just, there is no connection there at all. There is not. I'm sorry, I don't know where you think that this is a connection, but there is no fucking connection. And tattoos have literally been around for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, way before any studies were ever done on mental illnesses, you know? Like, you can't say that people with tattoos are mentally unstable, because they were being done thousands and thousands of years before anyone had even studied a mental illness, or even studied the brain or the body or whatever, you know? I don't know what to say anymore on these guys, honestly. It's just frustrating to hear this type of thing, you know, across the board through everything I've discussed in this video. It's just frustrating. And anyway, I'm gonna leave it here, guys, because that's enough for all of us to handle, honestly. Again, I will leave links down below to videos I've mentioned in this video, and then, I don't know, a few videos of puppies to lighten the mood for you, because I don't want you to exit YouTube and feel really frustrated and in a bad mood because of this video or whatever. So go and watch some puppies. I love watching puppies after making these types of videos. So yeah, look after you, and yeah, until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing very, very well, and until then, bye.